It is the Wave 97.9 WHAV, and on the line with us is State Senator Payano. And Pavel, good morning to you. Thanks for joining me today.
Good morning, Wynn, and good morning to everyone listening this morning.
Well, I don't know if you realize it or not, or maybe your ears are burning, but you are in a big news story that we have this morning. It's something about medical money for medicine, and it's something that's very much needed, isn't it?
Yes. No. I saw it, and I'm like, man, I know exactly what Wynn's going to want to talk about this morning. No, but it's great because not just because of the need, but because it's also top of mind. This was able to get signed into law last week, but we've been working on this for quite a while. I'm part of the healthcare finance board committee, and having Lawrence General and the merger that occurred between Lawrence General and Holy Family. It's one of the issues that has been top of mind, and also because of the clinic, the Greater Lawrence Family Health Clinic that does work in Haverhill, Lawrence, Methuen, and just the Greater Lawrence area.
Well, I had the interim president and CEO on last week, but it was on a Wednesday, so this hadn't been signed as of that time, because this was Thursday, wasn't it?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, so tell me about this. Tell me a little bit more about it, reimbursing the hospitals and community health services.
So what it does is it puts $199 million, injects $199 million to both healthcare clinics across the state and also acute hospitals like ours. So you have you go into Lawrence General and you see that they are working with the most folks that are in need. They're working with low-income individuals. And one of the things that I've talked about since getting into office, and I've probably said it on this morning's radio show, is that reimbursement rates for commercial payers are a lot lower for hospitals like Lawrence General than they are for hospitals in Boston. So you're dealing with a hospital that's already working with working class individuals that they can't put these procedures any higher because then folks are not going to be able to get it. And doing these procedures, they're getting reimbursed already at the start. They're making a loss because they're getting reimbursed less than some of the bigger hospitals. So what this does is that it injects $122 million particularly for hospitals that serve the greatest share of the state's low-income population. And then $77 million to the Health Safety Net Trust Fund to stabilize that program for those hospitals. And then as well, there's $35 million in financial relief that's going to community health centers. So I think that, I don't know the exact figures of how much of that money is going to be coming into straight into our district, but I know that it's something that both the hospital and the clinic have been asking for, and they're so in need. And part of that reason as well is not just the lack of equity in the commercial reimbursement rates, but it's also because of the deep cuts that our hospital and our health clinic industry has been hit with from the federal government. The lack of investment or de-investment from the federal government has hurt us a lot.
So this will help pay for things like emergency services and maternity care, mental health resources?
It's going to help with everything the hospital does. So everything you've mentioned, but it's not going to be particular used for one thing. So it should allow these hospitals to stay afloat and continue to serve the working class people of our district.
Oh, we had a chance to chat before you came on, and you were talking about a new bill at the State House, a privacy bill. Why don't you tell me about that?
So I'm actually really excited about this. This has been an ongoing conversation with us for a while. I'm the vice chair of the committee that focuses on artificial intelligence, technology, the internet, and the chair of our committee, Senator Moore from Worcester, has been leading on this issue for quite a while, which is we are not aware of the type of data that we are constantly sharing with these apps. We think we might be sharing it with the app that connects you to a dog walker, but then that app goes in and they sell that data to a bunch of other third-party folks, and God knows what they do, what they use with that data. So a couple of things that this bill is going to be doing. It's going to be blocking targeted ads for minors, and it's going to ban the sales for young people's data. If you're under 18, there should be no reason why folks are using that data. You're below the age of consent. They shouldn't be targeted. There should be no reason that you're using this data to target young people. It also is going to limit data transfer. So entities that transfer sensitive data have to first obtain the consumer's affirmative consent. So they have to opt in order for you to be able to transfer that data. And then it bans sensitive data sales. So it's going to prohibit any kind of entity, whether you're a business, you're a nonprofit, from selling someone's sensitive data. And that could be your precise geolocation. It could be your healthcare information. It could be your face and fingerprint scans. A lot of apps are asking for that. I'm always saying no to those. It could be your immigration status, sex life, you name it. There's a lot of information that you can obtain from someone just by buying some of this, buying this data. It's gonna, one of the not just that it's going to give control back to consumers or give more controls to consumers to be able to opt out and delete personal information, but it's also going to create strong enforcement powers to the Attorney General. So the Attorney General is going to have a broad regulatory authority to enforce these provisions. And, I'm deeply excited about it. One of the things that I'm going to be discussing to see, how we're able to limit is, things like reward programs, Staples, Amazon, all these different places have these reward programs. You go to your groceries and, you think like, the company knows that I'm buying strawberries. So you think that it's innocent until that company goes in and sells it to third parties. We're trying to do as much as we can to protect consumers and people within the Commonwealth, in part because the federal government hasn't done this job. The federal government has been silent for years, and what's happened is all of our information is just out there. Just the idea that that our social security number, that no one knows where that information is out. After Trump took it and gave it to his big billionaire friends. So this is sort of our work in response to all that.
Well, that is going to be interesting. I like strawberries, but I don't want I don't want other people to know I like strawberries too. No, that's
man.
Yeah.
Why should someone know that you bought a bottle of wine?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of information that someone that even we think like a big company, they're not going to care about us, but you'd be surprised how they're able to target these ads and manipulate you into choosing something that maybe you wouldn't have chosen, or how a bad actor can get this information and then use that information maybe to hack you. or do something that you wouldn't want this person to do.
Yeah. So does this mean you should actually end up reading that fine print, before you click allow on websites?
Well, I always reject all my cookies. Sometimes some websites make it easier to figure out whether whether it's clicked, whether you have to opt in to take the cookies, so you got to click to get the cookies, or whether you have to opt out. Sometimes there's some confusion there. But what this does precisely, enforcement tools for the AG, it bans certain sales of your data, and it's going to ban targeting of minors and the sale of minors' data as well.
On
So it
another,
goes beyond the just reading the fine print.
oh, okay, all right. Now, on another issue that is at the top of your mind is a legislative piece that deals with car rentals.
Yeah, so we passed a few laws on Thursday, and one of those laws was around protecting the people that use the fentanyl testing equipment. So back in 2024, there were about 400,000 fentanyl test strips that were distributed, and what folks found, it was good that we were using that, because over 88% of opioid-related deaths or the overdoses that year came from fentanyl. So what this does is that it provides sort of further expands the liability protections that so that police officers and these first responders that are using these tests are able to use them and be afforded legal protection. So if you're a police officer or you're someone that's acting in good faith to try to help someone, that you won't be sort of sued for trying to provide this help. So that's one of the bills that we passed. Another bill that we passed is ensuring that folks that have intellectual or development disability and they're going to a habilitation program, that these folks are provided the same safeguards from abuse as individuals in other care settings. So if you are an elderly person and you are in some type of center that works with elderly, there's protections that went to those individuals. Now we're ensuring that the same protections are afforded to folks that have intellectual or development disabilities. The last one, which is what you mentioned, is that we are making sure that rental companies are only responsible for liability coverage if the person is uninsured or underinsured. By shifting that primary liability from the renter's personal auto insurance, to the renter's personal auto insurance, it's going to help make car rentals more affordable and accessible across the Commonwealth. Costs for renting a car have gone sky high, and we think that this might be able to lower those costs.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good idea, and we'll see how that takes off. Now, all these need the governor's signature, or have they been passed by the House too?
So that is a tremendous question. I'm not sure where they're at with the House approving. It usually takes for most bills a couple of weeks, if not a whole lot more, before the House ends up taking it on. But we in the Senate, you pass the laws that you think are right, and you hope that your friends, your colleagues in the other chamber ends up taking it on.
That's right. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So you started this part rolling in the state senate. Hey, Pavel, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see what happens next time too. Hopefully, next time we'll be able to get you into the studio. That would be a wonderful thing.
Yeah. No, we'll try for that, and hopefully next time, as part of the interview, I can say that these bills I just talked about have been signed, and I can give you guys an update on the data privacy law, which I know a lot of folks have been reaching out to us about.
Oh, yeah, that would be a good thing. Thank you so much. State Senator Pavel Payano, our guest this morning here on the WAVE 97.9 WHAV.
Wake up with Wayne Damon weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on 97.9 FM WHAV.